I'm now going to go straight across to Gaurav also for more details on that story in terror bleeding Jammu and Kashmir. Gaurav, but India leaving no stone unturned to bring the perpetrators of this horrific massacre to justice, isn't it? A series of steps that have been taken.
So, Prime Minister Narendra Modi made that very clear when he addressed not just the nation from Bihar, but he also that couple of sentences that he spoke in English was a message that was clearly going out to Pakistan and the rest of the world. And he spoke English so that there's nothing lost in translation. That's point one. And point two that I want to come to is the simultaneous military exercises that are being carried out, a series of maneuvers that are being carried out. I want to draw your attention to what happened in Operation Brass Tacks. Now, that was an exercise that was carried out, and that was a massive exercise to send across a message to Pakistan that brought then Pakistan military dictator Ziaul Haq to India. This time, the military exercises are of a different nature. They're tri-services exercises that are happening simultaneously. So the Indian Air Force has its fighter jets from the Rafales to the Su-30s that are participating in these exercises. Some assets are being moved from the central sector. And what's the message? That C4I2SR, from command, control, communication to information, intelligence gathering, and surveillance and reconnaissance. So these are major messages that are being sent out, and these are open exercises. So the adversary is also aware what is happening. The Sub Shakti Command is carrying out a series of exercises when it comes to heliborne operations. And apart from heliborne operations, there are other exercises that are being carried out. The Indian Navy, through its guided missile destroyer INS Surat, fired an MR-SAM, or a medium-range surface-to-air missile, to take down a sea-skimming target. So land, air, and sea, the message very clearly being sent out to the adversary. On the other hand, Pakistan is carrying out its own exercises. Pakistan has moved a series of assets, especially its fighter jets, closer to its air bases, closer to the international border. So that's a message that they are sending out. They're also bringing out their cavalry, doing some tank exercises. At the same time, the firing that we saw in Lipa Valley late last night, remember the line of control, it's 770 kilometers long and it's had a ceasefire in place. However, yesterday, Pakistan, for some reason, panicked late at night, and there were a series of speculative fires being reported from multiple locations and multiple posts. And the understanding perhaps is that in nervousness, Pakistan expected perhaps some kind of surgical strike. They thought some troops are going to move in. Wherever they heard any movement, there was speculative fire. When one post opened fire from the Pakistani side, then the adjoining post opened fire, then the third post opened fire. And though it was speculative fire that lasted some time, tracer rounds were also fired. All of that is an indication of Pakistani nervousness. And perhaps in the next several days, we will see more nervousness on the other side. There's an old saying in Hindi, chor ki dadi mein tinka. And the way Pakistan is maneuvering, their defense minister addressing, giving a press conference or addressing a media channel overseas, admitting that they've carried out terror or they've supported terrorist organizations in the past, but saying they did it for the West. All of these are indications that Pakistan knows something's afoot and they're nervous about it.
Well, absolutely. Gaurav, there will be retribution. I don't think anybody should have an iota of doubt about that, isn't it?